risk, of course, is to have multiple investors. So now people in Somalia can go invest in piracy operations, and if the pirate raid is successful, they come back and they actually pay loot then to the individual Somalis who invested in the operation. And they're like creative about this because you can bring like in-kind things. There was a story of somebody who brought a rocket launcher there. It's like, here, I got this weapon I can contribute. And they figured out what the monetary value was and gave them the equivalent equity share in the pirate venture, and then threw the rocket launcher into the mix of tools. Kind of cool. So financial markets popping up for pirates. Again, though, an indication that pirates are respecting contract law within their legal system, and it's the outsiders, the people who are outside the legal system they don't deal with well. Which actually cuts to some of the problems going forth for Somalia. One of the main challenges is their customary legal system has always been in the background. So it was there prior to colonialism, but that's also an era prior to major international trade. Colonialism comes in with the Italians on one end, the English on another, and colonialism basically runs all of your external relations with foreigners and trade, whereas the customary legal system was in the background for the indigenous people interacting among themselves. Then they got their new nation state. The new nation state, state law was supposed to replace customary law. The customary law was in the background there as well. Basically, it never had to evolve to include how to deal with outsiders. As a result, international trade can be difficult in Somalia. So that's one of the things that the guy VID00006 in his book Law of the Somalis I mentioned was working on. His efforts were trying to create basically free trade or enterprise zones that tied into the clan legal system for companies to come in and safely invest in. So this is an area of customary law that still is evolving in Somalia and still needs to evolve more. You can travel there though. If you go to Lonely Planet has advice about what hotels to stay in and how to travel to, in particular Somaliland. They'd recommend staying away from VID00006, which is a good idea given the violence that's associated with trying to establish a government there. But supposedly travel in Somaliland is fairly safe and you obey most of the rules that you would in any poor African country. I'm not particularly interested in going there because I've learned that they don't really have bars, which really ruins a country for me. So, takeaway point on this stuff. Somalia does pretty well in comparative institutional analysis. It does succeed in providing some level of law and order without a government. So the point is, given that it's not libertarian utopia, actually if I had more time, what I'd do is show you a video today if you want on your own. Google Somali vacation land beach or something like that. And it's a video making fun of libertarians who talk about Somalia. And it's these two people who are like on a public beach in the United States. And they're like, what is this? It's crowded. It's dirty. Are you sick of beach socialism? We need to go to a place where there's no public beaches. We need to go to a place where there's no government. And then they're like, welcome to Somaliland. And like they're running around, where have we been effectively functioning without a government since 1991? I can almost do the whole thing. They go back and forth and they're like, this is beautiful. It's just libertarian. It works with markets everywhere. Meanwhile, they're showing you pictures of like poor, stalls of little trade shops and trinkets and crap. And like, come into the beautiful airport, and it's like this crappy airport. And they're like, and everything works with markets and libertarian pixie dust. And then, I guess they're parading around the beach, the girls like, as the thing's ending, the girl's like, I've got cholera. So they're like making fun of libertarians of this. So the point isn't though that it's some like libertarian utopia or market utopia. The point is comparative institutional here. It's not the ideal vision of an anarchy for anybody. And it's a society that is very poor, regardless of its institutional environment right now. So the question is, given its culture, its ideology, its level of development, what type of a state is it likely to get, and what type of an anarchy is it likely to get? And it seems to be that the evidence thus far is the Somalian anarchy is better than a Somali state. And for that matter, has been doing better than the average sub-Saharan African state over the last 15, 20 years. My statistics were for 15 years, over the 15 years that I had data for. Which, in some sense, shouldn't be that shocking of a conclusion. I mean, it's not a stretch of the imagination for anybody, I would think, to think, would Ukrainians have done better without a government when Stalin was busy killing them? Ditto for Chinese under Mao, or maybe current people of Zimbabwe today. If you're going to have an excessively predatory state, even if you don't have a very pleasant anarchy, it shouldn't be surprising to think that maybe that would be better for people than having a monopoly who is good at killing you. And it's the